Right now, we are still smack dab in the middle of an Omicron surge. Though national health experts see the peak of infections out there on the horizon, we're not there yet. In Kansas, COVID hospitalizations are up 33% in the last 2 weeks. They're up 35% in Missouri. Here at home, if capacity at hospitals isn't an issue, testing is. Last week, Children's Mercy Hospital, a major coronavirus testing center for kids in our area, had to change its policies and limit testing because shipments weren't coming in.
It's definitely a challenge and a struggle that we are all facing, and it's frustrating. It's hard. It's hard to have those conversations with families and not be able to offer a service that we traditionally have.
The testing shortage is just one of many problems plaguing hospitals in our area and across the country as healthcare workers struggle to keep patients alive and healthy in this pandemic surge. So let's take some time to dive into this. Joining me now is John Doolittle, President and CEO of the Missouri Hospital Association. John, I'd say peel the curtain back for us, but the struggles your hospitals are seeing are unavoidably public right now. Still, what's happening behind the scenes?
Well, you're right. I would say things are very well being discussed in the public, and I'm proud of the way so many in our communities are choosing to support our healthcare workers. Right now, that incredibly difficult and complex job that those heroes always do has been made a lot more difficult based on the fact that we have had tremendous surges in COVID recently, and we're also in a time of year where we deal with a lot of other seasonal illnesses and issues.
You came into this job in October. Feels like a completely different time. What are the biggest needs that you have right now?
Well, the biggest needs that we have right now are, again, fairly public and fairly basic. We'll all benefit as people do what they can to keep themselves and others healthy and well. The interesting and difficult thing about this latest surge with Omicron is that it has moved so quickly, not just through our community, but throughout our state, throughout our region, throughout our nation. And areas where we in the past have been able to shift resources from one place to the other, those are unavailable right now because so many are dealing with this same surge at the same time. There isn't a source of help outside of Kansas City, outside of Missouri, that isn't similarly taxed. And therefore, we need to do our best to take care of ourselves.
Sure. And doctors for 21, 22 months now have been ringing this bell, asking the public to do their part. Missouri, though, has some of the lowest vaccination rates in the country. How do you see, with this surge of infections right now, the next few weeks playing out?
Well, unfortunately, things have played out as we expected in the Omicron wave. You're right. We have a relatively low vaccination rate. We also know that Omicron has brought a large number of breakthrough infections. And it's okay to talk about that, and that's not an anti-vaccine message. What we know is that folks who are unvaccinated and particularly unboosted are seeing these infections at a greater rate. And when they experience these infections, it's often much more difficult for them to recover. And so you're right. Folks have been ringing the bell for a long time. Prior to starting this role in October, I was president of my hometown hospital in Northwest Missouri. We've tried to have respectful conversations with folks. We've wanted them to be curious, and we've wanted them to be humble. And it's an interesting piece. So many people in this debate, in this discussion, speak with such incredible certainty about what they know to be true or what they know is about to be true. You ask me how this is going to play out. It's going to play out in a difficult manner in the near term because we have a lot of folks who are sick, and that is adding up at a greater rate than what the normal capacity of our hospitals and health systems are. What I would ask folks to do is to remain humble, remain curious, and to be very thoughtful about little things and big things that they can do on a go-forward basis, and to really question if they've made the decision against becoming vaccinated. Continue to ask the question. Think about the way things have changed. Think about the way new information has come. Think about the experiences of all of us who have been vaccinated and seem to be doing just fine. Please continue to ask those questions and think about ways, not just that we can get through the current wave, but through whatever comes next. We're not sure what comes next, but we know that steps that have been taken over the last 2 years, particularly around vaccination, have helped us deal with the current surge in a way that is far better than it would have been otherwise.
All right, John Doolittle with Missouri Hospital Association. Please convey our thanks to the thousands of healthcare workers saving lives every day. We appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you very much for the opportunity. And I really want to reinforce that message. Thank goodness for the folks around the state who are taking care of their neighbors.